Tom Ritter is the skipper of Tramp. It's the Melges 24 here in Key West. Tom, you finished second last year. First and foremost, talk about that. I mean, it's a big regatta. It must be pretty rewarding to have a good finish at this event.
It very much was. We've had a long learning curve as a team, and it's really primarily my fault for not racing this boat more often than I do. And so, I make incremental progress every time I sail the boat, but because the other teams are doing 6-7 regattas a year, I'm behind the development curve.
Right.
I'm finally in a place where I feel reasonably competent in terms of my setup on the boat and the little subtle things that I can do to improve my speed. And in the past, I used to race with 4 people, and I found that, especially getting off the line, that was a tremendous handicap.
Okay.
Now I'm making a point to race with 5, and that has really made a big difference in terms of smoothing out the maneuvers at mark roundings, to have that extra set of hands, and really just to be able to hold our line off the start. That's really been the critical difference.
Do you have pretty much the same crew that you were here with last year?
I do. Tramp is actually an acronym that means Tom Ritter and Mike Pizzeski.
Okay.
I've been sailing with Mike Pizzeski since we had a mum together, in 2000, so that's been going back 15 years. And the rest of my crew is very consistent. I have one replacement this year. I had Bear, George Pete last year, and I had Chris Rass the year before that. This year I have Michael Hoey. So there's always a little bit of turnover, but for the most part it's the same core group.
Right. You and your co-owner, how do you handle the positions? Do you drive and he trims, or vice versa?
Correct. I drive the boat, and he is primary trimmer. Also has a tremendous impact on the tactical considerations, but Michael Hoey will be calling tactics for us this week.
Now, obviously, we're very happy at Premier Racing that this class has doubled in size, which means the competition is probably going to be a little more difficult for you. First of all, are you glad to see that? And then what do you know about some of the other boats that are here this year?
Yes, I'm happy about the competition. I mean, at the end of the day, Key West has been historically known as a regatta where a very high-level talent shows up, and so if you come here and you do well, you really feel generically good about it. Some of the better boats I've sailed against in the past. The new Norwegian boat is going to be a tough boat. There's actually 2 Norwegian boats here, I think, that are going to be very serious competitors. The boat Mikey has historically done well. In the past, they've had Jeff Madrigali drive for them.
Right.
I don't believe he is driving for them this weekend, so I'll be curious to see how their relative performance goes. There's a couple of other tough boats. Stephen Boho, I believe, on the 300 has been very religious about campaigning his boat, and I've seen just tremendous improvement in his overall performance, so I think he's going to be a tough competitor for us. But there's always a surprise. You get here and you think you've got everybody figured out in their particular groups, and then the event develops, and it goes completely different. And who's to say that one protest or 2 won't change the complete makeup of the event. So that's my expectation.
Well, obviously finishing second is great, but I imagine, just based on my past knowledge, that makes you even hungrier to win, because you probably think about, wow, we got second, but we know if we'd done this, we would have won this thing. Kind of talk about that. Does it make you hungrier to...
It does. It was also a little bit humbling. I mean, last year, I've got to give the Italians full credit. They had an extra gear.
Okay.
And, to be fair, they had brand new sails, and, we had a new sail, and that's really, again, up to me. But we really didn't have a true chance to beat them, because they had conservatively half a knot more boat speed in most conditions than we had.
Right.
And I just have to be honest about that.
Right.
I could conceivably have gotten lucky, banged a corner, but for the most part, we were very much struggling for second. And there was another Detroit-based boat. We're based in the Detroit area last year, and so really the regatta for us was more or less a match race with that other boat, for bragging rights back in Detroit. So,
right.
It just was a total icing for us to do so well overall in the regatta.
All right. Well, fantastic, and good luck this week.
My pleasure. Thank you.